Hi. Can any one of you guess what this fabric and this jewelry could be related to? Well, this is part of the costume of an Indian bride. Out of all of you here in the audience today, some are married, some have been married, some are about to get married, and some have vowed never to get married. But most of us at some point in our lives give marriage a serious thought. Well, I am from India and I recently got married according to Indian customs. Today I'm going to share with you marriage customs from northern India, especially from the state of New Delhi, where I am from. Let's begin with the preliminary stage of the wedding. Most marriages in India are arranged by family, friends, or relatives. As soon as a boy or a girl approaches marriageable age, the family and friends are on the lookout for a prospective bride or groom. They usually ask the individual what he or she is looking for in a life partner, and they accordingly suggest someone who they think is suitable for them. Now, their opinion could be very different from yours, but they suggest anyway. Or what they do is they place a matrimonial ad in the newspaper. That's very strange, but they do that, and they select from the people who respond. Now, this is a very preliminary stage and no commitments are made as yet, but the people chosen or selected are already screened on the basis of their family background, their education, their religion, and their age, and etc. After that, the boy and the girl are given a chance to know each other. And if they decide that they do want to get married, then announcements are made and they are formally engaged. Let's start with the preparations for the wedding. Indian marriages are elaborate affairs and detailed preparations are made well in advance, at least 5 to 6 months prior to the wedding. These preparations include dowry, which is another name for gifts exchanged between the bride's family and the groom's family. Other preparations include shopping for clothes and jewelry. Now, gold jewelry is traditional and is very customary. Let me show you a slide of myself on my wedding day, give you an idea. Now, the jewelry you see me wearing here on my forehead, on my nose, on my ears, on my neck, and the red dot on my forehead and the little dots on my forehead are all symbols of marriage and are worn by an Indian bride on her wedding day. Bridal clothes are in the shades of reds and pinks and gold. Red is preferred because it's an auspicious color, and the only color not permitted to be worn by Indian brides is white, which is the color American brides wear. So that is just a difference in custom. And then the usual preparations for a wedding are made, the venue is decided, the caterers are booked, photographers are hired, decorations are planned, and the invitations are sent. Now let's come to the actual ceremony. The actual ceremony is performed in a temple. This is a picture of the Golden Temple. Oops. It is situated in India and is the main temple. Now, since not everyone is fortunate enough to get married here, most people choose any other temple around the country or around the world. Like I got married in a temple in Charlotte, here. Next, the bride and the groom exchange garlands of flowers. Now here you see me putting the garland around my husband's neck, and then he has one and he'll do the same. Let me give you a little insight here. My husband was very uncomfortable with his headgear, and he kept complaining that it was pinching him on his ears and he wanted to take it off because it wasn't his size. But no one would listen to him and he had to wear it throughout the ceremony. So comfort is clearly sacrificed for the sake of tradition that day, and usually most people don't even complain, but he did. Well, the next step is a priest reads from the holy book and performs the actual ceremony. Here you see the priest. He's reading from the holy book, and the bride and the groom circle around the holy book 4 times, each circle signifying a vow they make to each other. I know this looks very strange to you, but this is how it's done. They circle 4 times and each circle signifies a vow. And so that ends the ceremony. But after that, the bride is carried in a silver palanquin by her brothers and taken to the groom's house. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is not from my wedding, but just a picture to show you. This is the silver palanquin decorated with flowers. Bride sits in here and is carried by her brothers from the temple to the groom's house. Now, usually most people omit this step altogether, and even those who do usually rent the palanquin and hire these people, because not everyone has brothers and they are not willing to carry you. Well, we omitted this step too, and most people conveniently get into a car and drive off to a reception, which is big or small, depending on your circle of friends, your budget, and your individual preference. Thus, the ceremony is complete. Let's review what we talked about. Indian marriages are usually arranged by family, friends, or relatives. Detailed preparations are made well in advance, and the actual ceremony is performed in a temple by a priest who reads from the holy book. In conclusion, let me tell you about another Indian custom wherein all Indian married women fast for a whole day to pray for their husband's good health and prosperity. Now, this is not compulsory. Nobody forces you to fast, but still, most Indian married women do it, and I did it too, and that too here in America. So it goes to show that marriage in India is considered sacred and is performed in a very traditional manner. Can I answer any questions?